Christmas is a special time of the year. It is associated with fun, frolic, coming together, exchanging gifts, and sharing. Christmas is celebrated in different ways in different parts of the world. While most countries boast of unique Christmas traditions, nearly everyone has caroling as one among them.
Away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the heaven looked down while he raised the little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.
In England, in the old days, people would go around wassailing. They would go from house to house, wishing their neighbors and friends good tidings of the season. They came up with a beautiful song, Here We Come a Wassailing. This song we sing till today, albeit with different words. We know this song as a famous Christmas carol, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Wassail was a kind of drink that was dark, spiced beverage served to keep the travelers warm as they went from house to house wishing their friends. Carols were sung in Europe thousands of years ago, but they were not sung as Christmas carols. Instead, they were sung as pagan songs during the celebration of winter solstice, as people sang and danced around stone structures. This tradition was replaced with Christmas. The winter solstice is the shortest day of the year. It marked the shortening of the night and the lengthening of the days. It usually came around December 22nd. You can see why Christians adopted this pagan feast and turned it into Christmas. Jesus is the light that has come into the world, that is going to lengthen our days and shorten the nights of darkness and sin.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The word carol means dance or songs of praise and joy. Carols used to be sung all the year round. However, only the tradition of singing carols during Christmas has really survived and reached us till today. Early Christians took over the pagan winter solstice celebrations and turned them into Christmas celebrations. In the same way, they changed pagan songs into Christmas carols. In the year 129 AD, a bishop of Rome decreed that Christmas songs or Christmas carols be sung during the Christmas service. This marked the beginning of a long tradition. As it was growing more and more popular, many composers from different parts of Europe came forward and began composing Christmas carols. Sadly, it did not catch on with people since these carols were written and sung in the traditional Latin. Common people could not understand what was being sung and therefore did not really enjoy this tradition. Over the years, the popularity of Christmas began to decline for a number of reasons, and by the Middle Ages or the 13th century, the celebration of Christmas had almost stopped completely, and so did this tradition of singing carols.
Venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, Dominum.
Singing remained apart from the Christmas spirit. It was not until Saint Francis of Assisi began to incorporate carols and other Christmas songs of good tidings into his Christmas services. He used to encourage the people to make music a part of their Christmas celebrations. His idea gained much popularity and achieved a lot of success. Over time, people began to take these songs and sing it at home during their family celebrations. Most carols are untrue stories, loosely based on the Christmas story, on the events surrounding the life of the Holy Family. They were mostly sung for entertainment purposes rather than as religious songs. In the early stages, they were sung in people's homes as they sat around the fire, reveling in the euphoria that Christmas created. And they were hardly sung in churches like this. Traveling singers or minstrels would carry these carols from town to town as they went on their journeys, singing the glories of Christmas. They would change the words to suit their locations. Silent Night is one of the most popular carols around. Tradition says it was composed by an Austrian priest, Joseph Mohr. Initially, Mohr wrote a poem entitled Silent Night, and along with his musician friend, Franz Gruber, they put a melody to this beautiful lyric on a broken old church organ. Mohr could never have imagined how popular this carol of his would become. Silent Night today is the anthem for Christmas everywhere and for all time. Most people traditionally associate Christmas carols with the Christian faith, and they are right. Carols could have different meanings, but it is the religious meaning that really stands out. Take, for example, the popular Christmas carol, Once in Royal David's City. The carol is meant to teach children about the Christian faith and the first Christmas story. It has simple lyrics and a melodious tune which children can easily follow and understand. There are other carols, however, that do not necessarily relate to the Christmas story. A carol like The Holly and the Ivy. This carol refers to Jesus' suffering. The spiny leaves of the holly plant refer to the crown of thorns that he would later wear. The red berries would refer to the blood that he would shed on the cross for all of us. Some carols have deeper meaning and significance, like the carol, The 12 Days of Christmas. At first glance, this carol might seem to be nothing more than a children's game or some kind of memory test. But each of the elements mentioned on each of the days have secret meaning and significance. They are related to some part of Christian history and tradition. For example, the 6 geese a laying refer to the 6 days of creation. The 11 pipers piping refer to the 11 apostles. And the partridge in a pear tree refers to Jesus himself. One of the greatest caroling stories comes to us from the First World War. In 1914, the World War had just begun, and German and English troops were facing each other in a fierce battle. One night, as the sun set and the stars rose, German troops began to light candles and put up lights in their trenches. Seeing this, the English army was put on high alert. They were trying to find out what led the Germans to put up lights in their trenches. Their fears were allayed when the Germans began singing the first carol. Not to be outdone, the English soldiers responded by singing the first Noel, loud and clear. After some time, the German army responded with a carol of their own. This to and fro of carols went on for quite some time. The English decided that they would end this once and for all by singing "O Come All Ye Faithful." And to their surprise, they could hear from the German side the Germans singing the same carol in the Latin version, Adeste Fidelis. This proved to be a turning point in the war. Gradually, British and German soldiers left their trenches, came out into the open, exposed themselves, and were vulnerable. They began to wish one another, greet one another, and sing Christmas carols all night long. Their Christmas fervor moved on from just caroling to wishing each other, to making peace, even if it was just for that one night, to playing a football match as a sign of friendship and love. This is what carols do. Carols bring people together. Carols bring joy. Carols remind us that we are all brothers and sisters.
All is calm, all is bright. Das traute hochheilige Paar, Holy Infant, so happy and love, sleep in hellish peace.
Carols do more than convey the spirit of Christmas. They carry in their melodies the faith of generations of believers. They inspire hope, exude joy, and remind us of the reason for the season. Carols bring people together. From the earliest times, there have been occasions for people to come together and wish each other well. A carol is a way of sharing the joy one has within with those who listen. The angels who sang to the shepherds were perhaps the first Christmas carolers who sang the first Christmas carol. Normally, people go around house to house singing carols, but this year we might not be able to do so. But we can still herald the good news to our friends, relatives, and neighbors, just like the angels did to the shepherds. Maybe not through our songs, but definitely through our smiles, through our kindness and generosity. How beautiful we can make this Christmas if we do a good deed for every carol we would otherwise have sung. Why go around singing carols to people who already have heard about Jesus when there is a whole world out there that is yet to hear the good news? Here is one way we can make Christmas special and memorable. Let us not sing any carols, but be a carol to someone in need. Find somebody poor or needy and share something with them that will help make their life a little better, even if just for a little time. Instead of getting new clothes this Christmas, why don't we share a lovely pair with someone who doesn't have any? Instead of eating and drinking in excess, why don't we share a meal with a single parent family or an orphan child? These are some ways we can bring the good news of Jesus to different people. Why stop with singing carols when we can actually be carols